Okay, today I wanted to talk a little bit about The Boys because overall on this channel I really enjoy like good storytelling, right? And they do some things in this series that obviously are for shock value, but some things, man, they just hit just right. And I wanted to talk about this particular scene out of I think this is season 3. This is episode 1, and this is a scene with Stormfront and Homelander, and you can see in the scene, you know, Stormfront is all mutilated. She's been defeated, right? She's got both of her legs cut off. She's missing her limbs. And there's a lot within that, like what she represents. Because she comes on the show representing this kind of old, racial purification, belief system, right? And so she brings that into this new modern age. So what she represents in the storyline obviously is very prevalent for just like, our culture right now. So they're symbolizing a lot in this character here, right? So she's really come in and really, stirred things up a lot. And part of being a villain really distinguishes herself. And you see in this scene, like, this is where she's been all burnt up. And she had been a strong, supporter of Homelander, of course, obviously. But what's crazy about this is he comes to her and, he's all stressed out about all these things. Like some of the other stuff that's going on in the show is, what's her name? Annie, Starlight is now the co-leader of the crew. Like some stuff going on at Vought, and she landed there. So he's obviously upset about that because they're taking some of his control. And this is kind of where she's here. And so like he's been taking some L's at this point. This is kind of an even darker time for Homelander. And we'll kind of focus on him too. But what she does with this is, at the height of this, she still wants to please him. And she does so. And if you can see, like above me, there's a part where she offers her hand to him. Now, think about how much pain she's in. And this is how much she's dedicated to what her belief systems tell her about the world. Like, she is representing, a form of, like I said, of fascism, so to speak. And she wields it as seduction, like, which is different for her because she's been such a strong character. This is different. But this final act is about mental strength because it is not about sexuality for her. It's not. It's about weaponizing this intimacy. Like, she's reaching out to him. But what it says about her mindset, right, in terms of what she represented, and we all know the culture that she represents, and even to the end, she's still giving to that ideology because she's using this to talk him into continuing this mission, even though she's burnt up. Like, her eye is gone. Like, she's not coming back from this. I think she's missing her other hand or something, too. It's terrible. It's terrible. And literally what she's saying is, my body is broken, but my cause is internal. It's eternal. She's like, she cannot fight herself, but she will still be a vessel that spreads this propaganda to him right now. So she has always had she had a level of control over him because what she fed into was his narcissism. Like, obviously that's an embodiment of who Homelander really is, right? This like control. He responds to her in this situation like, I don't care. He has absolute empathy. He doesn't have empathy. He's not horrified. He's not loved. He's not hurt. He's just like, it's messed up, right? Like, first the fat boys break up, now this is kind of how he comes at it, right? And this highlights a lot too. So there's a lot of layers that's going into what they're triggering in the story. He does not love her. He loves what she reflects back at him, that he is a god, that he deserves worship. Like, even her dying words to him are basically praise, and it feeds upon it. But in the end, she can't, she fails because he can't lock it, he can't lock into it. At the end, what she reveals something really different about Homelander, and I think this is a mind state we'll see out of a lot of characters like him. I just did the Superman Deviants, and I dig a little deeper into his personality. You want to check that out because this says a lot about him too. So she's giving him this form of pleasure, and it's not like she's telling him. If she were telling him, hey, you're a god, you're this, you're the one, he probably gets where he needs to go, right? But because she's still talking to him about building the army, and that's where she goes wrong. He doesn't want to build an army. He doesn't want a bunch of people like, he doesn't want armies of that because he still wants to be special. So, there's some layers where he wanted V to go out so he could have villains to fight against. And again, Homelander isn't the smartest guy, right? So for being so advanced, he doesn't make good decisions. You don't know what you're going to get with V. You're really rolling the dice. But looking at these two, you know, coming out of season 2, these guys were the perfect rotten couple, right? They looked like this wet dream of authoritism, nationalism, power, right? They were charismatic, like they ate it up. But inside, their relationship was it was not founded on anything positive. It was founded on this worship, this power control. Because when you think about it, Homelander, because of his flaws, he is easy to manipulate. Like, he's wide open to manipulate. And that's a part of him that, man, I don't think has been explored enough, that he has glaring weaknesses. And, I think that's what they're really showing. As long as she was able to feed that part, and I think she failed in thinking that he was buying the mission, but he's truly this narcissist where he wants to be the one, and he's in the position where he's like, I don't need, because of his weakness, his internal stuff, Homelander still kind of craves to be loved, right? So otherwise, like, think about it, dude. He could just like go savage on the world right now at any time. I mean, if he's what I think, I don't think you're, Superman. I don't think you're even, Omni-Man, but I think he could lay waste to the world if he just set it off. I don't think they've shown any weapons that we have right now that could stand against him, and he's got enough where he could, destroy infrastructure, grid, and all that stuff. So so he does need that love. So the way that she wants conquest with this army doesn't suit how he wants it, and I think that's really where this break is. So she dies, and it's kind of like, poetic how she goes. She's a ride or die, and she proved that she is a ride or die. Obviously, she's got cultist behavior that I don't support in any way, but from the character standpoint, she is literally dying for the cause. On the way out, I'm doing everything that I can for the cause. And I'm like, man, you don't see a lot of people ride like that. So just, a very interesting, I feel like a very powerful scene out of a show that does some, they do some shocking stuff on the show, but it's really well conceived, well written, and this idea of like this mythology, I think they're really making a mark. And I'll dig deeper into some of these parts, but let me know what you guys think of my thoughts on this scene, and looking forward to the new scene coming up. I think it's next year.